Hi, my name is Robert Mueller. This is the first time we're actually being together, and I want to welcome you, 6 great pinball personalities, to the Deeproot studios and headquarters today to learn a little bit about pinball and our vision of pinball and the way that we want to take pinball over the next few decades. Now, all of you have already introduced yourself, and Kelly has done a great job of being a host and making you very welcome here. And one of the first things we want to talk about, and this might be familiar to a lot of you, we call it new in box in the pinball world. But really what that is it's the way that a pinball is shipped from the manufacturer directly to you, okay, the consumers. And so in doing this, and we're going to talk about today value, we're going to talk about something very important called TPOE, the Total Pinball Ownership Experience. See, what Deeproot's been about for the last few years is trying to redefine the entire ownership experience for a pinball owner. Not just for a pinball enthusiast who knows everything about pinball, knows how to set them up and to maintain them and to move them, but for even the average Joe who just wants a great pinball machine in their basement and to have some great entertainment for their family. So today we're going to be talking a lot about total pinball ownership experience, okay? And this is the first thing. Now, what do we call this in pinball when something is shipped, brand new machine in pinball?
New in box.
New in box, right? NIB. We see that all the time. Well, that's going to change with Deeproot, okay? This is a great box, right? It's going to have some great markings. There's not a pinball machine in here right now. But one of the great things we want to do is make the experience of getting a box on a pallet or skid that's strapped down a Lizier. So we just added tabs like this that come in and out. You don't have to use a blade or anything. Helps protect the pinball machine inside. So you take these out, it opens up, and then if you want to reuse it, you just put them back in here, like this, and you click it back. Easy way to open up and close a box, okay? Now, new in box is sacred to a lot of pinball enthusiasts, but I want to use an example. So my sister-in-law loves to play the piano, right? And the great thing about a piano is that it's a beautiful thing to have, right? It's expensive, it weighs a lot, you want to take very good care of it. It's much about the same cost and weight as a pinball machine, roughly $5,000 to $10,000. Now, would you want to ship your brand new beautiful baby piano in tissue paper? Of course you don't, right?
No.
So why do we, as pinball enthusiasts, want to ship our beautiful, expensive, valued, cherished pinball machines in the equivalent of tissue paper, right? So while we will offer this to our customers, we'd like to introduce a better option. And that better option that we're going to avail at this point, we move this off and get it out of the way, is the Deeproot PinPod.
Whoa. Wow.
What you're seeing now is not just a normal box, okay? Might look like it, but follow me here. What we want is to get a total value solution, okay? Something that is reusable, weather resistant, tough as nails. You're not going to stick a forklift fork or a pallet jack through any of this. We wanted it to be easy to disassemble and easy to assemble again. And we want the pinball machine to be beautifully cushioned with air inside, protected from spills, drops, and things being put on top of it. It has a 10,000 pound weight capacity for stuff on top. And as we're going to see in a few minutes, it's completely collapsible. And so if you take it to an event, wheel in with your PinPod, everyone's going, ooh, ah. Take your pinball machine out at the event. Everyone loves and enjoys it. While you collapse this down, you can do it, store it horizontally or vertically. So this is a great reusable option, and we want to ship everyone a pinball machine in a brand new PinPod, so you can have the greatest protection that's available for your pinball machine out there today. So would y'all like to see how it works?
Of course, yeah.
All right, beautiful. All right. Well, a couple more things before we get to actually trying out putting together a PinPod. At the bottom are what we call vibration feet. Now there's a more engineering term for it, but one of the big problems in moving a complex machine like a pinball machine is the vibrations that happen not only from jolting it around and moving it from dock to truck, et cetera, and vice versa, but also the basically the minimal vibrations that are from like road surfaces. Everything else is really bad for boards and other things. So that's the first thing we put on there. It's an extra feature. You won't find that anywhere else. Also, what I want to point out real quickly, as we start putting this together, is to remember pinch points. So just for safety purposes, tool is very simple. All you're going to do, because this prong is under pressure, you want your hand here, and you just pop it off like this. To put it back, you just put it in one of the recesses. You're going to use your flat palm or a fist to keep it out of the pinch point, and it just goes right in. You hear it snap, and it's under pressure. So there's quite a few of them around, and what that does is protect the entire PinPod, right, surface area internally. And as you can see right here, we're going to put that beautiful pinball machine we want to protect and care for right in the middle, cushioned by air all the way around. So if there is a tip or a drop, that air and basically the friction against the pallet is going to keep that pinball machine nice and safe.
So that box is wider than a typical standard box for pinball machines. Will it fit through a regular standard doorway?
So standard doorway, it might or might not. Some doorways, depending upon the age of the building and the codes in the local areas, might or might not be that. It's 34.5 inches on its shortest side, which is why, and it's the hand truck side right here, which we have a special block to allow a dolly to go under there and easily fit, where the other two sides are forklift or pallet jack. So as the least widest side here, it should be able to fit through most standard doorways. There are supposedly sometimes, probably you might have to take off a door depending on the hinge, or if you're in a building that has less than 36-inch door frames. But and anyway, most of the time this is going to go into a garage. You'll probably break it down there and then take the pinball machine itself into the house. It's really up to you, but what we've tried to do is keep it as small as possible while still, as you can see here, keeping enough air around it to protect it if there is some vibration of the machine during transit.
Is this something we have to ship back to Deeproot after we get our game, or does this belong to us?
No, absolutely not. So whether you purchase it or it comes with your game, and we'll talk about that later, the PinPod is yours to keep and to have and to protect your machine from here on out. These are rated for hundreds of uses during normal shipping back and forth and freight. So for an average pinball enthusiast, this could be a shipping device that could last for a lifetime. So it's very durable. And as we start putting it together, we'll notice some of the features like the reinforced plastic recesses. And let's bring this around here. You also have very nice lips here that have been routed out to make sure that it seals very well.
So there's no other kind of support inside the machine, but just these adjustable brackets that are right here.
So they're adjustable brackets for the bottom, and then there's ties on either side. So we want to keep horizontal, vertical together. Believe me, we spent a lot of time once we found the right device and the right shipping container to figure out what's the best way to keep that pinball machine nice and safe and still during shipment, no matter what happens with shipment. Okay. All right. Well, who would like to volunteer to put together a PinPod? All right, Carrie and Jeff, let's do it. Now, as you can see from the hooks, I mean, you're welcome to go wild with your retention. Usually only two like this should be really good to keep it nice and firm in there. So it's really up to y'all. If you are moving it on your own, just realize that while we do have vibration pads, depending where you are in the country, roads can be pretty crazy, and you will want to check from time to time if you're on a road trip with it to make sure that the straps haven't just jiggled loose or stuff like that. But it usually with a nice ratchet belt like this, it should hold really well. So, and you can see as I lift up on either side, doesn't come out, nice and cushioned at the bottom, gives you a nice firm support. It's at the top too, so it is now solidly on this pallet. So just like you would have with the Nuent box, but unlike a Nuent box, we now have some amazing side protection and some clamps we're going to put on. So Jeff and Carrie, if you want to come up, and I'll get out of the way here.
New InPod.
So two's on this side.
InPod Deeproot
Where's
game.
one at on that side? We're gonna need some.
I think it goes the other way around now.
Yeah, they're right here.
Right, so just make sure the recess is pretty close to each other. Looks good. And bracket that middle one.
Middle one. Yeah, and when we get all this. There's 4.
All right, beautiful.
And then just basically go around.
Yep, just start going around and then y'all can get the top.
Oh, wrong way.
All right, let's get that top on.
That goes.
All right, yay! Very strong, very sturdy. Once you get all these clamps on, creates a nice protection around your pinball machine.
So is it slide? Is it like on? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's heavy, right?
Yeah.
Because there's a pinball machine in there, but the vibration pads do slide. So it gives it a nice base instead of just having a regular pallet at the bottom on the floor. So since this is rated for a lot of uses, and this is normally a shipping container you would have with long distances with a lot of moving around and stuff being put into other containers, hitting other things, forklifts around, etc. It is pretty sturdy. So
Obviously, this is a more robust package than a cardboard box with styrofoam by far. What's your estimate in terms of how much more it adds to the overall cost or price point to the customer to have this greater level of security?
Yeah, so the PinPod will retail for $999. And in my personal opinion, you can buy a topper or you can get a great protection and moving and shipping a container for your pinball machine to keep your value and protect it as best as possible. So.
Well, you've mentioned licensing the technologies. Is this something you're going to sell even outside of Deeproot customers? Like if I have an older pin that I maybe take to shows or something, is this something I could buy separately?
So that's a great question. Is it backwards compatible with non-Deeproot machines? And for most standard body machines, yes. As you can see, the plates down below are adjustable. So most standard body machines, we padded this one a lot more. That's why it took a little bit more effort to get it between and get them in. But most standard body machines will fit in there. Wide body will not. I don't know if we're going to do wide body because in order to do wide body, we have to start changing dimensions, which might affect the ability to get it through a lot of doors, etc. There really isn't any other special needs that you have because of the cushion that we have and the strap feature. Some of our older retention ideas that we had would have forced like a plate or something to be drilled into pinball machines to retain it. We think we found a much more suitable, flexible, and universal option in what we've done here. So yes, if you buy a PinPod and it doesn't fit your standard pinball machine from modern Williams Bally and Ford, we'll give you a refund if you want a refund because we want to take care of you. But it's not like we've tested it on all the other machines possible. It will fit a Williams Bally because our package is very similar to a Williams Bally. And it probably will fit most other manufacturers that have standard size pinball machines.
And you'll also ship in box. This is like an additional option, add-on option, is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can have your pinball machine from Deeproot shipped the old-fashioned way, wherever the cardboard box is, somewhere around here. Yeah, oh, there it is. We got it out of the way, right? Yeah. Or you can have it shipped in PinPods.